Hello and welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino, and we're coming to you from the beautiful SCP Mendocino Inn and Farm. This 15-acre farmstead spa lodge is a celebration of sustainability, nature, and wellness all in one. Here's a closer look.
You're on the Mendocino Coast in the town of Little River. So we're about 2 minutes south of Mendo, the town Mendocino. We're at Soul Community Planet, Mendocino Inn and Farm. And we have about 15 acres here of beautiful lush grounds, garden, chickens, llamas, trails to hike right off of our property.
Nestled between a state park and the California coastline, the inn embodies healthy, kind, and green values.
We are a holistic hospitality company, so we really focus on the well-being of our planet as well too. And it starts with every little step. Every small little detail that you can do to be sustainable is going to make that constant effect and continue to grow.
There's both an edible and interactive garden too.
There's always weeding to do, just to kind of root people in the place that they're exploring and they're sleeping in and that they're, sharing time with.
Carolyn Gondek is the garden's curator and caretaker, growing the fruits, veggies, and perennials.
What a special thing to have local coffee and then have, some eggs, which are from chickens grown on site with, herbs from the garden or greens from the garden, leeks, various alliums every once in a while. Once these get a little bit bigger, I'll be able to transplant them out around the garden. And I'm planning to do that with rye and wheat.
And along the property's meandering pathways and rolling pastures, visitors will also see the resident chickens and llamas.
We are in the chicken coop. So these are all of our girls that produce the farm fresh eggs for your breakfast in the morning. So they love their life and they love to be fed. It's really fun. You have a lot of the guests come out here. They interact with the chickens.
I got the good stuff, no? Yes.
This is Mo. So Mo is a lover and a huge friendly guy. You might want to be careful because he'll come up and give you kisses. The llamas are protectors, so they actually protect the chickens. So if they feel that there's a predator around or they sense something out there so that's the Van Dam forest over there. If they sense something is out there, they'll run towards the chicken coop to push the chickens away from the fence to protect them. They are so fun and they love it, and they're actually really friendly with humans. So they have really grown to become loving and caring, and they love pets. They love to be petted.
It's a unique hands-on farm experience at a bed and breakfast where the magic starts on your way in.
You see the light of the sun just shining through the trees, and it's the most magical experience I have ever seen. And you're going through these redwoods, and then all of a sudden there's the ocean, and then all of a sudden you're in this beautiful magical little town that is just touching. Everything is just unique and everyone is so caring and loving around here.
Gotta love those llamas. All right, we've got more from Mendocino coming up, but first, here's what's good for you.
Hi, my name is Tawny. I am a registered dietitian, cookbook author, and owner of the popular food blog Kroll's Corner. In California, we are spoiled with California's abundance of fresh fruit, and today I'm talking all about California pears. They range from crisp to buttery in texture or somewhere right in between. They're picked with the right amount of sugar and then ripen naturally, giving us sweet and juicy, sun-kissed California pears. It's so easy to include California pears in your everyday routine to gain their nutritional benefits. Pears are low in calories, a great source of vitamin C and K, and a good source of carbohydrates. Plus, pears are a fiber powerhouse. They contain 30% more fiber than apples. Just make sure you eat the skin to get all of the benefits. And pears may help with weight management, improve your digestion, and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. For some fun ways to add pears to your diet, visit krollscorner.com and try my fall sangria, a pear galette, or this yummy fall fruit salad. Enjoy a sweet and juicy sun-kissed California pear today.
Later in the show, we set out on the Monterey County Artichoke Trail to get a true taste of the perennial flower. And straight ahead, find out why this salad is certified as the best in the U.S. California Bountiful is brought to you by the California Farm Bureau.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world. Join us this December for the California Farm Bureau annual meeting and YF&R State Conference at the Grand Sierra Resort. Shop our California marketplace. Attend engaging workshops, plus fun activities along with everything the Grand Sierra Resort Casino has to offer. Vision, action, results. Be there. Meet us in Reno this December. To register and get all the event details, visit cfbf.com today. Welcome back. At San Francisco's Miller Lux restaurant, their Caesar salad for two is not only assembled tableside, but it's harvested from the soil right in front of diners. You've got to check this out. We're here in San Francisco at Miller Lux with Chef Tyler Florence, and I've heard that you guys have a pretty special Caesar salad here. It's an entire experience.
Yes, it is. Thank you. So good to be with you today. Hi, everybody out there. So glad to have you inside of our steakhouse. This is Miller Lux. We are at the Chase Center, home of the Golden State Warriors, and we're thrilled to share with you our Caesar salad experience. You can't have a great steak without a Caesar salad. And when we started putting this together in designing the restaurant, I wanted it to be the best. And so far, Forbes magazine has said that this is the best Caesar salad in America.
In America.
In all of America.
Wow.
So we're excited to sort of kind of showcase a lot of beautiful California products and produce with this, and really kind of take you through this whole thing. And by the end of this, you are going to be what we like to call Caesar certified.
Well, I love this cart. I mean, just the presentation.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm expecting a lot here.
Most of them are out on the floor celebrating the Caesar salad experience.
And you literally roll this out to the diners.
Exactly, yep.
And you'll make the salad right there.
It gets made tableside in front of our guests at the table, and they just love it. It's so much fun.
Okay, and
All right.
so we're going to do that now?
Yeah, okay. All right, guys, so what we're going to start off with is what we call the holy trinity of flavor profile when it comes to making a really good Caesar salad. And what we have here are anchovies from Spain. We have fresh pressed garlic from Gilroy, California, and the garlic is blanched twice and then finely milled on a microplane. And then we have gray sea salt from Britain, France. So we're going to start off with our olive oil, and we're just going to kind of wake up our aroma here. Okay. Now to this, we're going to add a quail egg yolk. Now this is a quail egg yolk from Modesto, California. Nice, lush, rich flavor profile. I think this makes a distinctive California Caesar salad. Quail egg yolk, and then a little bit of Dijon mustard for a tiny touch of bite.
I'm liking it so far.
Exactly right. And then we're gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce for umami. And then a nice squeeze of Meyer lemon juice to freshen the whole thing up. And also Meyer lemons, it's also my secret sauce. Well, that is my lemon, my go-to lemon. I think it makes a huge difference in the flavor profile of our food. I love it. It's somewhere between a lemon and a tangerine.
So you're like lemon loyalty right there.
Hardcore lemon loyalty. That's the only lemons I use. All right, guys. So we're going to kind of give this a stir and break this up. This is base right here is going to act as the emulsifier. It's going to hold everything together. And then we're going to go back to our olive oil. Okay. Now our olive oil is actually a very special olive oil. This is a 3-time gold medal award-winning Aubrey Aquino olive oil from Fresno, California. So see how this is starting to thicken up. So the egg yolk and the mustard are going to act as an emulsifier. It's going to hold the olive oil in place and suspend it so it gets nice and creamy. So now we're going to add some cheese to this. And this happens to be the world's most expensive Parmesan cheese.
Oh,
this is a 36-month Parmigiano Reggiano from Emilia-Romagna. We actually get the whole wheel of cheese in.
Ooh, look at that.
And we break it up ourselves, and that way you get the deep aroma from the cheese without any loss of oxidation. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper to this. Give it a little stir. And we just made Caesar salad dressing. Now, all of our staff on the floor, they have to be what I like to call Caesar certified.
Okay.
So I personally train everybody here on how to make the Caesar salad.
Wow.
And this is also their go-to party flex. When they make this, when they go out, like places like you know how to make the Caesar salad at Miller Lux? Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's move on to our lettuce. This is actually really special. I think it's one of the highlights. So all these lettuces are hand grown for us in Petaluma, California. Okay, so I have about 700 heads of lettuce in the ground right now, and they're all live lettuces.
Wow.
So these come to the table. They're dipped on the farm twice, and then we wash them one more time here in the restaurant. But then we present it live in a pot. So when it goes,
cute.
isn't it cute, right? So we simply just take the lettuce, tilt it sideways, and then we just cut the live lettuce straight into the bowl.
So that's as fresh as it gets.
It's as fresh as it gets. Thank you, brother. Then we get a nice little toss. And now we're gonna plate up. So we're gonna switch over here real fast, okay?
Right.
So our carts have a little secret compartment here for our plates. Isn't that cute?
Very nice.
So this is preserved Meyer lemon. We take Meyer lemons, we soak them in salt and sugar for about 4 weeks until the pulp is nice and soft. And these are all California Meyer lemons. And then we hand chop it, finish up with a little bit of olive oil and chive for a deep citrus aroma on the outside of the plate. So it's like this little lemony smush in with really delicious flavor. Okay. And then we just sort of stack it high and watch it fly, okay? So take both of the spoons, and I take the lettuces and start to stack them up into just sort of like cup on cup on cup, okay? So it's big leaves into smaller leaves into smaller leaves. And then you kind of go from the bottom, put one more in here too. You kind of go from the bottom, okay? You grab the stack just like this, and you kind of move it straight to the plate, okay? Bottom spoon comes out, and then the top spoon kind of holds it in place, and then you
Got it.
Okay. Think you want to do one?
Yeah, I was thinking you're gonna test me.
Here
I
you
was
go.
listening.
Here we go. Let's see if you're Caesar certified.
Well, stack up the leaves.
Yep.
The biggest on the bottom.
Yeah, biggest on the bottom.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, started from the bottom, now we're here.
How many leaves do you usually put?
Like 6, 7.
I don't
Like
lost
15
count.
or 20. All right, flip them over. So no, flip that top one over.
Oh, flip it over.
Yeah, see, they all go the same size. There you go, same way, there you go.
Oh, I see.
Perfect.
I
There you
see,
go.
I see. Okay.
Nice job, nice job. Okay, here we go.
Oh, wait. Okay, here we
Okay,
go.
drum mount, here we go.
Dun, dun,
Here comes the
dun.
dismount. You
Oh,
ready? All right, bottom one out first.
Bottom out.
Okay.
Voila. Ooh, okay.
Caesar, who's Caesar certified?
Certified.
Caesar certified. Nice job, beautiful. So we're gonna garnish this with a couple of fun things here. This is a Meyer lemon chip. We take Meyer lemons, we shave them really thin, simmer them in a little bit of simple syrup, and then dehydrate them until they're nice and crispy. It's like a little bite of lemon marmalade, and it tastes fantastic with the Parmesan cheese. And then we're gonna add boquerones, right? So these are definitely something you can add or leave off. They're very easily to leave off. But this is the king of anchovies, all right? These are the best anchovies in the world. These are boquerones from Barcelona, Spain. Okay. And then we're gonna finish it with what we call the creme brulee of croutons. Okay, these are baguettes from our partner in Oakland, Firebrand Bakery, and we get the whole baguette in, we freeze it, and then we shave it paper thin until we get these really kind of beautiful slices, and then we just simply toast them off with a little bit of olive oil and salt. So you can shatter them with the back of a spoon. You definitely need a crouton on a Caesar salad, but we like to make it fancy. Okay, beautiful. And then we're going to finish it with a little more of the world's most expensive Parmesan cheese. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what Forbes magazine has crowned the best Caesar salad in America.
Congratulations. Still to come, don't get too choked up. Wait until we show you what's at the heart of this Monterey County vegetable. Plus, steaks for the ages, a unique meat flight with out-of-this-world flavor.
Home is where you start the day. Out the door, you're on your way. All the places you wanna go. Maybe you should take it slow. There's so much to care for in your life. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
The California Farm Bureau has protected the diverse agricultural interests in the Golden State for over a century. As part of the California Farm Bureau, you'll add your voice to the combined strength of over 34,000 farmers, ranchers, and families through our state. That means more connections, more influence, and more opportunity to fight for the issues that impact your life. With your support behind us, California Farm Bureau's robust government affairs, federal policy and farm pack, and legal teams work tirelessly to advocate at all levels of government, protecting and promoting our shared way of life. Together, California Farm Bureau and our members are standing up for farmers, ranchers, and families throughout the Golden State every day, working to cultivate a bountiful future for all Californians.
Welcome back. More taste, more marbling, more tenderness. Edwards Aged Meats is dry aging meats to perfection, and let's just say I was totally consumed by the experience. Edwards Dry Aged Meats is a true passion project for meat lover Edward Poe, who was driven to find steak and meat that had more flavor.
When I couldn't find what I was looking for, I decided to try to create it on my own. And the methodology just ended up being dry aging. We sell organically raised beef, pork, lamb, and goat, and our specialty is dry aging. We sell cuts that are ranging from 14 days all the way to 210 plus days in dry aging time.
He spent years experimenting with many cuts of beef, pork, and lamb before perfecting a process to give meat its absolute peak flavor and texture.
Dry aging essentially is taking a raw piece of meat and then creating an environment for it to basically tenderize and add flavor components to it, and hopefully it doesn't spoil in the process. Similar to like winemaking, you can get two winemakers, two different types of grapes from the same farms, they'll put their magic into it, and the end product is drastically different.
And Edwards' aged mission goes beyond just a tasty steak, but adds on an element of education too.
This, the 100-day one, the marbling, the intramuscular fat is much more intense and much more marbled internally. Educating customers about meat, beef, and where it comes from, because all of our stuff is sourced locally, at least from California for the most part. We really care about the product itself, so we want to educate the customer in terms of like, okay, where's it coming from? How do you cook it? How do you treat it? And how do you serve it? And then also open people's eyes in terms of like, okay, for a steak, there's much more than just ribeye, New York, and filet. So we do a lot of different offcuts as well that are also dry aged, that are just not available in most butcher shops or grocery stores. You don't want to cut it too thin and you don't want to cut it too thick. So usually you're talking about maybe like about 1/8 of an inch, because if it's too thin, you can't chew it. And if you can't chew it, you actually don't get the flavor release. Start with the control, kind of enjoy that, and then move on to this, the 100 days, and then move on to the Wagyu.
Plus, for those craving an experience, he'll carve up a flight of meats for curious minds to compare, contrast, and consume.
Each bite, you should smell it first. Smell it, it's just kind of like you're drinking wine. Smell it, get a good sense of the smell, and then eat it. Chew it a few times, and then go from there. It's just like when you go to taste wine or beer, right? Unless you have different types of the same thing, in this case it's meat or beef, it's hard for people to really pick out the subtle differences in the flavor and the texture, right? So I do the tasting because you have the starting point, which is what most people would be able to buy at a grocery store or a butcher shop, right? The run-of-the-mill, really good steak, and then you pair it with the stuff that's been treated with our craft through the dry aging, right? Adding the flavors, the aroma, the subtle nuances to it. And that way, when you eat it side by side, you're really able to appreciate the actual dry aged steak versus the control, which is the unaged one. It can be totally customized, and we basically come to your house, we bring it to you, and we do all the cooking on site, present it, do a little explanation, do a little education as well, and everybody gets to have a fun time.
So this tasting and the methodology was a first for me, but his innovative ideas are getting to the meat of it all.
Customers they span all nationwide. So all the way from California, all the way to New York City, Miami. We ship nationwide and everybody's enjoying the stuff all over the country. So it's very exciting. There's a lot more people that are interested in where the meat comes from versus not. I found they're more involved with the process and they're more interested in quality versus like quantity, I find. So, you know, with the tasting or like a more flavorful meat, you really don't need as much. You just eat and you taste it for the flavor versus like you just trying to eat a whole steak to get full. So not all dry is created equal. So you have different steaks taste differently from different butchers or producers because depending on the environment, it's gonna have different flavor qualities to it. My butcher and my chef, I'm neither because I'm trying to basically take all different avenues of food, right? I'm connecting with the producer, which is the farmer, and I'm trying to put the butcher hat on, I'm trying to put the chef hat on. So I'm taking all these different mind frames and I'm trying to put it into one single entity or one single product for people to enjoy.
Stay tuned. We get out on the trail in the artichoke capital of the world after the break.
We need someone to be there, knowing they'll always care. Someone who lights your way each and every day. Doing what you love is everything, so we can celebrate the joy it brings. There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Are you looking to uncover more of the bounty of California's rich, diverse, and delicious food and wine scene? Then it's time to get social with us. Find even more great content from farm to fork and everything in between, like recipes, behind the scenes, on food and wine tours, plus useful info on what's good for you and so much more. Join an engaging community of like-minded foodies and tell us what great story ideas you have for us too. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the conversation now. Find, follow, and talk to us on social at CaBountiful.
You love your pet and would do pretty much anything for them. But sometimes pet healthcare costs can make your wallet growl. That's why we created My Pet Protection, pet insurance designed exclusively for employees like you. Get reimbursed for eligible veterinary expenses. Enjoy extra perks like Vet Helpline, Pet RX Express, and more. Use any vet anywhere. Signing up is easy. Just tell us about your pet and choose your level of reimbursement. My Pet Protection is available only through your employer. Get a no-obligation quote today.
Welcome back. Monterey County's Artichoke Trail is bridging the vegetable from farm to fork with unique culinary experiences down Artichoke Alley and Highway 1. Take a look. This'll be fun. Where the rich, fertile soil of the Salinas Valley meets the sands of the Pacific Ocean, this region provides optimal growing conditions for artichokes year-round.
The artichokes are pretty climate-driven. They like to have cool temperatures, mist, fog, and rich soil, and the peninsula has that soil in abundance.
Nearly 2/3 of the world's artichokes are grown in Monterey County, and now visitors can see Monterey by embarking on its new Artichoke Trail.
I love it. I think it's great. You know, it's the California vegetable. It's kind of a romantic vegetable, and the peninsula being a place of tourism and you know, couples going and enjoying the views. I think this vegetable fits in perfectly for that. Artichokes kind of get forgotten about quite a bit. There's quite a few people that don't even know what an artichoke is, let alone how to prepare or how to eat them. So, you know, highlighting the artichoke, I think, is a great thing to do. Multiple people can eat one single artichoke. You know, you're peeling layers of the artichoke, of the leaf, getting down to the heart. So there's a bit of sensuality to it. It's been called an aphrodisiac. Don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but we're gonna go with it.
Scatini Family Farms grows the original artichoke.
It has characteristics that are very tender, very meaty, big hearts, less cooking time. We have our artichokes in New York City. We have them up north, Seattle, New Orleans. So it's kind of restaurant driven. We do a lot of restaurants, but we have a lot of boutique grocery stores that sell our artichokes too.
Split it right down the middle, open it up. So here's your stem. Your heart's gonna be in this area right here. You have your outer petals. We are just outside of Castroville, California, in one of our proprietary varieties of one of the purple varieties.
Ocean Mist Farms has been the gold standard of artichokes for nearly 100 years, growing multiple varieties.
Some people think that the purples have a little nuttier flavor. It offers a little different eating experience, especially when you put it on a plate. It definitely looks a little bit different. Grand scheme of things, it still looks and tastes like an artichoke.
And they're included as one of the more than 20 stops along the Artichoke Trail.
It's great exposure to an amazing vegetable. It happens to be our state vegetable. Your largest artichoke is going to be right here on your primary bud. This is going to be your 12. This is the largest artichoke that this plant is going to produce. So you have your primary, your secondary, your tertiary, and they adjust in size accordingly.
Aside from the farms, markets, and other attractions, restaurants are also listed as must stops, like Phil's Fish Market, where visitors can get a local taste of artichoke flavor.
My background is from Monterey, California. I was born and raised in a Sicilian family, and they had artichokes abundance of different ways, and my grandmothers both cooked them. And I can remember as a child, my grandfather would get a bucket of fish from the wharf and come over here and change it for a basket of artichokes. And so I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And so that's a mainstay with seafood and artichokes. Being close to Castroville, we start putting in artichokes in our menu, and it just kept growing with that.
And there's one dish at Phil's that's not to be missed: artichoke provençal.
It's fresh shrimp and scallops sauteed with the artichokes in the middle with the wine sauce that we do with butter and garlic and shallots. So it's really good.
But those aren't the only artichokes on the menu.
Deep fried artichoke is one of the number ones that we do with the hearts. We get them right from the field, we steam them up, get them cut up and batter them in a beer batter, and then we deep fry them for the customers to come in. The rock shrimp pasta with artichoke hearts with a shrimp, and what we use there is a rock shrimp with the scallops, and that's done in a butter and a wine sauce. That's very popular over linguine. Steam artichoke we do in the morning. We steam them up and we serve them either cold with mayonnaise, or we also serve them with butter, drawn butter.
For a vegetable that's long been misunderstood, the Artichoke Trail is really putting it on the map and will guide visitors to get up close and discover this regional delicacy. What an episode this has been. We've trekked many miles and I've certainly gotten my fill. Thanks for joining me here at the SCP Mendocino Inn and Farm. It's been a lot of fun. I'm Aubrey Aquino. See us next week for more bountiful stories to share. And until then, you can find us online at CaliforniaBountiful.com.